I don't know where to go from here. I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of defeated, depleted, destroyed, and angry, and I like. Not gonna lie, this stream will be very, very confusing most of the time because I don't know what to say because I'm feeling all sorts of emotions. I don't know where to go from here because this is now getting out of hand and this is now getting on my nerves. And basically, all this is going about this and the performances before, and basically accumulating over the years since Mikel Arteta has taken over, obviously. And I'm gonna be honest with you. There was when we signed Mikel Arteta, I wasn't too keen. Obviously, finishing 2 times 8th wasn't the greatest. It's nothing that I want from Arsenal, given that I have seen us win trophies and everything. I have seen successful Arsenal, but we had a chance in the 3rd season to finish 4th, and yeah, we balled that. Quite embarrassingly, we balled that. And at that time, I was calling for Arteta to be sacked already. Now, he didn't get sacked, obviously. He got a contract extension during the time. And at the moment, we are where we are. Because we have finished 2nd twice now, balling league 2 times. And today, I kind of want to say that Penny has fully landed. Penny has fully dropped, because I was saying for Arteta to be sacked for the longest time in the beginning of the season during the summer transfer window and everything, but when Arteta signed a new contract, which made him one of the, I think, the 3rd or 2nd highest paid manager in world football, I kind of started to make amends with the fact that he's not going. Basically, I started to make amends with that. But yeah, since then, it has gone worse and worse and worse. The same patterns apply, the same things are happening, and you would think that manager who technically is learning on the job over 5 years and studying under Pep would know how to rectify, how to change, and how to improve. Yet, over the years, we have seen almost none of that. Arteta is a manager, I think, who can be a good manager to a certain level. He will be a good manager wherever he goes after Arsenal. But currently, at Arsenal, it's it. That's it. He needs to go. He genuinely needs to go. I've had enough. I genuinely have had enough. I tried to make amends with the fact that he has to stay, that he will stay, and they're not going to sack him. Obviously, if they decide to sack him, there's a massive payout, given that they're paying him 15 goddamn million a year for us to have 1 shot against Newcastle over 2 years, to lose against Newcastle, to lose against Bournemouth, and everything. It's just, it's not it. It's genuinely not it. That is the end. Like, Arteta cannot come back for this, arguably. Because for me, if I was changing my mind with accepting the fact that he will be staying no matter what, and I was trying to keep that on a low end, if that makes sense, not anymore. Not anymore. I don't believe that he's the right man for the job to get us over the line. I don't think he will get us over the line. And I think wherever he goes, he will do decently. Depends also. Will he give him the time? Will he have the backing? But at Arsenal, his time is done. For me, his time is done. For me, he has to go, and I don't want to see him here. Because teams who want to win, owners who want to win, instantly realize mistakes, realize errors and issues, and basically fix them. That's how business, that's how clubs work. But now, Kroenkes, I have no belief they will do that. None whatsoever. So this is all on Arteta, on Edu, and on Kroenkes. All of them. They all are at fault. Obviously, given the performance, it's all on players as well. Trossard was pathetic. I don't want to see him start or getting subbed on for a few games. Let him think what he's done. I don't want to see Martinelli as well. He got schooled against Konate. He got schooled today as well. 2 best players, arguably, on the pitch. Obviously, from Arsenal, right? Best player on the pitch. No one. Genuinely no one. I cannot honestly sit here and say that anyone was good. Given that we had 1 shot on target. 1 shot over 90 minutes. Even 100 minutes with added time. They absolutely schooled us in the first half. 3 players, Bruno Guimaraes, Gordon and Isak. They were running circles around everyone. Jurrien Timber had the worst performance in Arsenal shirt period I've ever seen. Let's be real, even including preseason when he just signed. This has been the worst performance I have seen from Timba. This is on players quite a bit, but I'm more looking at Mikel and Edu and everyone. Our bench is pathetic. Let's be real. Pathetic. We should have let go. Half of the bench should be let go right now. Half of the bench. Half of the starting 11 sometimes feels like they should be holding the bench. The issue is we don't have anyone to substitute them for. And that again falls on Edu and Arteta. Nearly $800 million spent. And we have nothing to show for it. 5 years. Trust the process. I'm trusting nothing anymore. I don't believe in Arteta. I don't believe in the man Edu. I don't believe in the owners whatsoever. I've never have believed, to be honest, in the owners. And I don't believe in Edu as well. Especially since during Euros he comes out and says, wait till the end of the window, you will be excited. And you genuinely sit here and think, okay, cool, we're gonna sign Gyökeres or someone like that. And we sign Raheem goddamn Sterling on loan. Raheem bloody Sterling, who gets iced out from Chelsea team, and you think he's gonna do something at Arsenal. You will see the best of me. Wait, he said. Where? He cannot even perform against Bolton and Preston on proper level, yet alone in Premier League, sorry. And to add on top of that, all these senior players who should be leading the team, where are they? Where are they? People like Top Gooners like to say that Saka is world class and everything. No, he's not. You know who's world class? Mohamed Salah. We saw it today. Brighton were doing damn decently until they basically collapsed. Mohamed Salah just cuts in, bangs it in. He is a big time player. He is world class. Bukayo Saka, no chance in hell he's world class. No chance in hell. This is all pathetic and embarrassing, and I don't know where to go from here. Because we haven't looked good at all this season. One game against PSG where I was sitting and looking, yeah, this is good. I like this. We are looking actually pretty darn good. I want to see more of this, right? Rest of the games throughout this whole season, pathetic, embarrassing, shambolic, same mistakes, same issues, same errors, and same results. Sooner or later, the results will catch up to performances. And it has happened. Bournemouth, pathetic, gutless, spineless performance, we lose 2-0. Against Newcastle, gutless, spineless performance, we lose 1-0. One shot on target through whole 90. One shot on target in 2 games in a row at St. James Park. One combined shot on target. Eddie Howe has schooled Mikel Arteta like he's a little boy. And to be honest, he is, because he cannot get anything right. 5 years, and he has made the same mistakes. Same bloody mistakes over 5 years. He hasn't changed anything. He basically is on one side or on the other side. He's not nowhere in the middle. He doesn't know how to find balance. 160 million on center backs who can play left back. Our left back side is still under a question mark. We play right back there. We have signed countless midfielders, and we don't see balance in midfield also. As soon as one gets injured, it's all panic mode and we don't know what to do. Same mistakes, from very naive mistakes. Same substitutions player per player. When going gets rough, what he does, same thing as always. Chugs on every single attacker he has on the bench, and that's it. No change of tactics, no plan B, plan C, plan D. We are embarrassing to watch. We are boring to watch. We have no imagination, no nothing. We don't create anything whatsoever. Set piece situations. Oh, set piece FC, Arsenal, come on, last year, this year, what are we from set piece FC? We're just a simple team. Everyone has scouted us out. Every single person pretty much on set pieces at the moment are basically tracking and blocking out players. And that's it. You don't need to do anything else. As soon as you get your player, you block him out, goalkeeper can easily come and catch the ball. Declan Rice on set pieces. One man in the wall, and he hits that man. 105 million for that. How pathetic that must be. Declan Rice this whole season hasn't been good, pretty much. He has had one decently good game. Rest of them, he's been shambolic. He's been average, pretty much. Nothing from the Declan we saw last year. We've signing so many players, wasting money left, right, and center. We signed players like Fabio Vieira, who is useless pretty much. Scored a goal, gave two key passes, and got a red card. All I remember from him at Arsenal in 2 years. You pay 35 million for Porto to get him where he was holding the bench and getting on as a sub, and then 2 years later you send him back to Porto for games, and where, by the way, he's not doing that great. He's not doing well at all. He's been injured multiple times. We sign players everyone wants. We signed Fabio Vieira, Nuno Tavares, Sambi Lokonga, players like that. How comes we cannot even sell them afterwards? Nobody wants them. We have to loan them out with option to buy. Loan them out with obligation to buy. By the way, at the moment, right? Top assister, top guy for assists in top 5 leagues in Europe. You know who it is? Nuno Tavares. Nuno bloody Tavares, who got hooked off at 30th minute against Nottingham Forest in FA Cup, and then he got loaned out to Marseille. He got loaned out to Nottingham Forest, and now he is one of the best players in Serie A in Lazio. What we gonna get? We're gonna get 7 to 10 million for him, allegedly. By the way, allegedly with that loaning option, right? With that loan with obligation to buy. If he keeps up this whole season, right, he will be worth around 50 million by the end of this season. And if someone else comes in for him, you bet your sweet cookie, Lazio will be happy to cash in as well. Because Italian teams are very good at doing these things. 100%. Nuno Tavares is balling out there. It's actually kind of pathetic and embarrassing when you look things in the context. Back to Mikel Arteta, by the way. Same mistakes, same naivety, same parents every single game, and you don't think other teams will scout you. It's like he lives in 1920s where scouting a team is impossible almost, besides the game you actually see. It genuinely feels that way. What you see on the pitch, that's it. Nobody has cameras, social media, nothing. You don't see anything. Because we play the same way every single game. We don't change up tactics, we don't change up systems, we don't change up formations. When basically you have pretty much we are 1-0, 2-0 down, then you basically Hail Mary it and hope for the best. It worked against Bournemouth once, and since then he's tried this against multiple times. He tried against Newcastle, he tried it a bit against Bournemouth, he tried it against Bayern Munich in Champions League, subbing on Edin Ketia to basically save us against Bayern Munich. Same time for subs, 60th and afterwards minutes. Player per player substitutions. You most of the time, you know what subs he's gonna make. So what's the point even then? Because everyone knows what to do. Everyone knows how to defend against those guys and how they should act. And then he has the nerve to say some stupid remarks in interviews. We're gonna get to that in a second, by the way. And basically try and protect the players when he should be protecting something else. Like, we are embarrassing at the moment. I don't care what anyone says. Signing certain players that should be good to raise the levels, we don't do that. Letting players go when we need to let them go, we don't do that. We held them for extended period of time to have family, football friends and everything. When the players afterwards leave for free, we sell them for basically 80% discount, as like they are basically, I don't know, they're out of term, they're out of time. It's like milk that's gonna get old tomorrow and we just sell them for 80% off. Like, what are we doing here? Paying money for useless players, paying stupid wages for useless players. People were giving 8 out of 10 for this goddamn transfer window. It's fixed bench, great signings and everything. Really? I gave this window a 5 out of 10. And massive influence because of that was the sales we did. Because I was expecting if we sell the players, we're gonna sign some players. And we went from 25-man squad to 22-man squad. We made our squad even smaller by selling and signing players. Genuinely, the window in general is 1 out of 10 what we just had. There's no argument about that. We have gone backwards. And at the moment we're sitting 4th in the table, by the way. We are sitting 4th in that table. Where is it? We are sitting 4th in the table. Can you see this? Oh, you can't. Let me fix this. This is kind of nuts. We are sitting 4th in the table at the moment. We are sitting 4th in the table. We are behind Nottingham Forest. That alone should be a sackable offense. 4th behind Nottingham Forest. If Villa and Chelsea win tomorrow, we are 6th. Genuinely, we are 6th. If Spurs beat us, they're only 2 points off us. Like, what are we doing here? We could be 6th by the end of this week. Fully, we could be 6th. And you want to tell me that it's all good, it's all fine and dandy and all that crap? We are 7 points behind Liverpool. If you look at Fulham, who are 12th in the table, we are only 6 points ahead of them. So technically, based on stats and everything, we are closer to mid-table than we are to the top. We have conceded 11 goals. 11 goals. Same as Chelsea, Villa, Man City, Man United, by the way. We have conceded the same amount of goals. We have scored 17 goals. Less than Liverpool, Man City, Chelsea, Villa is one off, Brighton, less than Spurs, less than Brentford, by the way. Like, what are we doing here? People say, oh, you cannot sack Mikel Arteta because there's nobody to get in the place. Yeah, right. How comes United could have gone Amorim? How comes we cannot sack Mikel Arteta, go to the Inter, for example, drop the bag on the table and say, give us Inzaghi? Why can't we do that? If Ancelotti gets sacked from Real Madrid, give me Ancelotti. Mancini is out of contract. Try him. Why not? You go and try again until you succeed. How comes Arsenal are the only team that holds on to a manager for countless years? No team in the world does that. No big club in the world does that. Real Madrid sack managers like they're changing socks. Bayern Munich does the same. PSG does the same. Most of the big clubs does the same thing. They basically, it's a trial and error. They do until they win. For me, Mikel Arteta is like Brendan Rodgers. He got us to a certain point, but sorry mate, you're not good enough. Get lost, get me a proper manager in who gets us over the line. That is it. That is it. Newcastle has a proper striker in Isak. Proper striker in an Isak. Arsenal in the summer decided we don't need a striker. We don't need a striker. Why would we need a striker? We have Kai Havertz up top. Guy who runs and moves like he's been shot with a tranquilizer dart. Like, what are we doing here? It's like you buy a proper striker, you score goals. Imagine how that is, Matt. How that is wild. That is actually insane. If you think about it. Every single team that are on top, that are above us, has some very good attack. We don't have that. We genuinely don't have that. Man City obviously is above us. Yes, they lost today, but that means nothing. For me, that means nothing. Because first of all, we need to look at ourselves. We need to look at Arsenal. Because we were playing first. We had to get the job done. Because if we win this game, we are only 2 points behind City and we still keep 4-point gap against Liverpool. Now we are 7 points behind Liverpool and we are still 5 points behind City. And we are 10 games in, we have played more than quarter of a season already. Like, what are we doing here? Chris Wood has how many goals this season? Give me a sec. Chris Wood has 9 goals this season. 8 or 9 goals this season in Premier League. 9 goals. And Nottingham Forest are above us. Is it a coincidence? No, it's not. Buemo has like 8-9 goals. They have scored half the goals Arsenal have scored as a team. It's like if a team has a striker, they actually score. Gyökeres yesterday scored 4 goals, by the way, for Sporting. What is Arteta's excuse for not signing a striker? Because the first season we finished second, right, when we had 8 points clear and everything. What Arteta said, oh, we don't need a striker, we spread the goals around. Because we were playing expansive attacking football, pass and move, open gaps, quick attacking. We got done over that season. As instantly Arteta gets PTSD, next season we play defensive. Instantly. We go from one end of the spectrum to the other end of the spectrum. And we start to play super defensive. Comes January, we go 1-7 and everything. What journalist asked Mikel Arteta? Do we need a striker? What's the attacking issues for Arsenal? Oh, but we don't have a proper striker up front. We have what we have and we need to work with that. You had summer to sign a striker, by the way. Why didn't you do that? You had January to sign a striker. You didn't do that. You had time in this summer to sign a striker. And you again didn't do that. This manager is done. He is done. He needs to go and never come back. That's it. He needs to go. We have two midfielders. One is the manager, one's the sporting director and all that stuff, right? Two midfielders who technically should be good at identifying proper midfielders. Yet our midfield is hella disbalanced. As soon as Odegaard gets injured, we have to play 360/8 with basically that is destroying our creativity up front. Instantly. Playing Merino in a 10, how dumb you have to be. Oh, but what he did at Spain. Who cares? It's Spain. The quality they have could be this Arsenal team with their eyes closed. It's again Spain. For me, I would have rather gone Fabian Ruiz over Mikel Merino. Much better player, more technical, more agile. He can create, he can shoot, he can pass. He's everything what we needed pretty much in the midfield. Either gets a player like that or get Zubimendi as a proper DM. But we can play Rice in DM. Okay, cool, then get Fabian Ruiz, a player who fits actually the bill. Not a player who basically is named the same name as the manager and that's why you signed him. Like, what are we doing here? Like, what are we doing here? No backup for Saka, no backup for Odegaard. Throughout the whole summer transfer window, I was banging this drum. We need a striker, backup for Saka, and backup for Odegaard, just in case something happens. Few weeks into the season, bang, Odegaard is out. Bang, Saka is injured. And we have nothing. We have to play Jesus, a washed-up Bolivian striker, basically. And Bolivians won't even take him, let's be real. He's Brazilian for Joga Bonito. He's more like Surgery Bonito. Uno más. Martinelli as well. He said in a recent interview, oh, Arteta has helped me to dribble with my left foot. What has he done there? Martinelli has done nothing. As we played against Liverpool, he basically had his pants full of shit when he faced Konate. Today as well, Livramento was pocketed him like no tomorrow. Trossard, abysmal. Martinelli, abysmal. And that is our left side. Our left side, we had only left back issue, technically, at certain stage, right? And we thought, yes, we're going to sign left back and we will be good. Currently in this team, we don't have only left back issue. We also have a left wing issue at the moment, which also needs to be fixed. And that again is on Mikel Arteta. Can he fix it? No, he can't. He won't. He will try to do the same thing over and over and over again. Because again, it's the same thing. He has gone from one spectrum to the other. Super attacking to super defensive and try create control the possession. He needs to find the balance. He hasn't found the balance in the midfield, in the way we play, not creative enough, no plan B, C or D, nothing to look up forward into the future. Nothing. And today as well, this graphic by the way. This is how Arsenal were passing the ball during the game. Arsenal's pass distribution. Notice something very interesting. Where is our striker? Where is the gap at our striker open? There is no striker for us. As you can see, Saka is on the right, Martinelli is on the left. Okay, cool. Saliba and Gabriel, two center backs. Okay, cool. Timber inverted, Partey inverted. Okay, cool. Mikel Arteta has some weird fantasies about this stuff. Okay, cool. Where is Kai Havertz? Oh, he's in Odegaard role. Where is Merino? Oh, he's as a left 8. Where's Trossard? Oh, he technically is still in the center circle. Based on this, okay? But now, what happened in this game and what happened many times in last season? We pass it to Martinelli or Saka, whoever is on the wing. They go down the line, they beat their man, and they cross the ball in the 6-yard box. Where is the striker in this 6-yard box when we need him? Oh, he's on the edge of the box. Oh no, he's not where he's supposed to be. And that has been the issue ever since Arteta has been here. We haven't had a proper striker since Arteta has been here. He ruined Lacazette, he ruined Aubameyang, and he hasn't signed a proper striker since he's been here. Whatsoever. We haven't had a proper striker. And this is another issue for me. Because if we sign a proper striker, will he even fit in? Because I have no trust at the moment in Mikel Arteta to coach a striker. Because we have never seen him do it. Even at City when he was under Pep, he hasn't seen it do it. Because he signed Haaland after Arteta left. Arteta was there when he used to play Mahrez, when he used to play Jesus, Zinchenko even, when he used to play even at points KDB, Bernardo Silva's number 9s. So he hasn't seen how to coach a proper striker as well. So what are we doing here? Like legitimately, what are we doing here? This is how we did our passing most of the time. Partey to Saka, Saka to Partey, and that type of thing between our center backs. Obviously, the thicker lines are the most passes distributed. The more thinner lines are the ones that were made more rarely, obviously. But overall, yeah. Again, no striker up front. People were laughing at many Arsenal fans who said, pay 50 million for Ivan Toney. Oh, we don't want Toney because Arteta doesn't want Ivan Toney. Oh, we don't need a striker and everything. We have what we have. We are great. I trust in Kai Havertz. Kai Havertz will bag 20 goals this season in Premier League. That's what people were saying before the season. Are you dumb? I'm sorry, but are you dumb? Have you lost the plot? Havertz, 20 goals in Premier League this season. When he's playing nowhere near up top. When he's not clinical enough. When he cannot even create a shot for himself properly. Like, what he's gonna do there? How are we gonna do things? Like, this is embarrassing. Genuinely pathetic and embarrassing to say the least. Like, what you're saying in the chat, don't sack him yet. Yeah, the performance. It's not just one performance. It was against Bournemouth. Same thing was against Brighton. It was overall this season, our performances besides PSG have been shit. Same was last year. And year before. Last year we went 1-7 in December. At the moment the way we're going, we are doing this right now already. And we don't have Dubai trip at the moment to eat someone else's man's meat. Pause. To actually make us better. We don't have that this season, so there's nothing to basically suggest that we will change. We were fourth 3 seasons ago on the table with 5 games to go, something like that. We needed like 2-3 points to get fourth. What we did, we started put out in those 5 games performances like today, like against Bournemouth, and Spurs over Tokas and we finished 5th. With 5 games to go, we needed 3 points or something like that. Like, what are we doing here? Like, seriously, what are we doing here? It's not one performance. It's performance after performance. Because this is one of the biggest issues me with Arsenal's fan base. With all these top gooners, Arteta only fans and all that stuff. They instantly forget what has happened before. Because if we go to Chelsea, we win, let's just say 3-0, right, at Stamford Bridge. They will totally forget these awful performances that we had against Bournemouth, that we had against Newcastle and other teams. Because, oh, that's the past, that doesn't matter anymore. And it's all the time the same cycle. It's like people have goldfish memory. It happened, oh well, we've forgotten, let's move on. The past is what it makes who you are today. At the moment, looking at Arsenal's past under Mikel Arteta, we're not good enough. And we won't be good enough under Mikel Arteta. Yes, we might be there or thereabouts, but we won't get it over the line. And on top of that, at the moment, looking at the league, Liverpool are looking the strongest, obviously. Man City are the second. Arsenal, to be honest, based on their performances, should not be in top 4. We basically have scraped through in certain instances due to just because we have gotten lucky, or we just have bare players that overtake us, that gets us over the line. And that should be the case since we are one of the biggest teams in England. But based on performances, we should be about 8th, basically. 8th or 9th, 100%. There's no reason to think otherwise. For Arteta at the moment, the worst thing that could happen is Liverpool winning the league. Because Slot comes in the first season, wins the league, there's no excuse anymore. Arteta needs to go instantly. On the spot, that's it. If City wins the league, it's not as bad, obviously, because it's City. At the same time, if we finish 3rd, he needs to go. Because Slot in 1 season, without signing no one pretty much, will have done better than Super Duper Mick over 5 years. That cannot fly. That shouldn't fly. But of course, top gooners will find excuses to keep him there. Wake up, people. Genuinely, wake the F up. Rice crossed every time. Exactly. Rice crossed every time he hit the first man. Every time. Remember that cross from the right side? One man in the wall and he hit that one man. How is that excusable? How people are sitting with their straight face and in player ratings giving Rice a 7 out of 10 performance. None of those players should have above 5. Just embarrassing and pathetic performance. They all genuinely, based on the fact how they were playing and everything, I don't know, should reimburse the away fans for the tickets. Because that was pathetic. One shot on target. One. And that's over 2 years when he had gone to St. James Park. One shot on target. Like, what are we doing? We should have bought Conceição. 100% agree. As a backup for Saka, Conceição would have been fantastic. But at the moment, that ship has sailed. Because from what I understand, he has signed now for Juventus. I think it was loan and they will kind of sign him full time, no? I think there was something about that written. He's on loan, but I think they will sign him full time. Juventus signed Conceição on straight loan deal from Porto. Banker paid fees and million plus. Wants to take him on loan, but the fee was strictly for his loan spell and not part of future agreement. So I think that I read somewhere that they're gonna sign him full time. Obviously, it might be a bit too early to speak about this, but it could be the case. Anyhow, another thing. People tell that we have creativity issue at Arsenal. We have creativity issue at Arsenal. Where is this, by the way? What the hell is this? There we are. It's very, very small. I'm very sorry about that, by the way. It's very, 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 very small. Hella small. But I think you can see it good enough. I hope, at least. You have to go through a player stats for today. Oh, we will. Oh, trust me, we will. But big chances created this season in Premier League. I hope you can see this properly. Liverpool, 30. Arsenal, 28. Chelsea, 27. Villa, 26. Brentford, 24. United, 24. Blah, 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 blah. Arsenal have created 28 big chances this season. 28. 28 big chances. And they have scored 17 goals. Which overall doesn't seem too bad. However, the thing is, it's not the full story, is it? Arsenal have scored many chances that doesn't apply to this metric. We have scored corners, we have scored situations like that. Those are set pieces and those don't get counted into big chances. These are big chances created in live games. And in these instances, from 28 big chances created, Arsenal have scored a whopping 9. 19 big chances missed. And people want to tell me that we don't need a striker. We don't need a proper left wing. We don't need a proper bagsman up top who is gonna be in the 6-yard box, who is a lethal finisher in the box, and who's gonna convert those chances. Because let's be real, from these about 19 chances we have missed, the big chances, if we have a proper striker, we score about 7 to 10. Let's be real, 7 to 10. And 100%, that means that we are winning against Brighton, where we should have won. Even with 10 men, we created 2 chances. That was our own fault. Havertz missed 1-on-1. Saka missed a chance from Havertz's assist. We should have beaten the game we drew. I forgot. We should have won, I think, 3 games based on the fact that if we had a proper striker up front. But people won't speak on it. People genuinely won't speak on these type of situations solely because, let's be real, it doesn't fit the narrative. And here is the bigger one. Every word from Mikel Arteta's, I'm gonna fix this right now. Mikel Arteta's, this is gonna be wild, Every word from Mikel Arteta's post press conference against Newcastle United. This could get hella angry, annoying, pissed off, and many words I'd rather not say. Let's see what the Waffle Man has said today after 1-0 loss against Newcastle. We started the game really well. Really? We started the game really well. Well, we had a chance. I guess that counts, because when we came out in second half, we looked even worse than in first half. So kudos for that. Great pep talk, Mikel. Good team talk in the halftime, by the way. Direct play, second ball. They put the ball in behind and we are unable to cross and finish, obviously. Okay, on the feeling around league standings. I understand that the last 8, 9, 10 games last year we didn't talk about it and we are not going to talk about it now. Blah, 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 excuses. On the player heading out onto the pitch early after halftime. No, it wasn't done on purpose. We did what we normally do and they left early because they decided to do so. So this question might as well be useless. On emotions and the pressure, I didn't feel that. He didn't feel any pressure on this game, being 1-0 down at halftime, knowing that we are playing before Liverpool, before City, and we had a chance to close the gap no matter what happened. We could have done basically our job before those two teams play football. How arrogant you have to be. How arrogant can you be to say things like that? I didn't feel that. Seriously? You didn't feel any pressure on this game. We were already 5 points behind, well, 4 points behind Liverpool, 5 points behind Liverpool. Already. I think I would have felt that at the beginning of the game. I didn't have that feeling. What I did feel, especially when we had to come from behind, was the lack more purpose, more threat and more capacity to really go and hurt them. Oh wow, so you didn't have a striker, you didn't have a proper bench, you didn't have a plan B, plan C or plan D in your mind, in your tactics, on your goddamn notepad to change the game. Oh wow, who would have thought? Oh wait, I would have thought that. Because it's been a reoccurring theme for the last 3 years. It's been the same shit, just different toilet. Nothing changes, nothing ever changes when we are in these situations. It's the same tactics, same stuff we see when we are down. Nothing ever changes. If the level has dropped recently, yes, especially with a lot of the things we are doing with the ball consistently, but that is something that certainly we have to improve on. Especially with a lot of things we are doing with the ball consistently. Never mind. On Martin Odegaard, we don't have him. You know, we can discuss all day long. At the moment, we don't have him. We haven't had him for the last almost 6 weeks, and we don't have him yet. But we have many other answers which have been very effective. Really? In this game, they were so effective. We had 1 shot on target throughout the whole game. We didn't score. We didn't create. We did nothing. Same goes for the game against Bournemouth. We did nothing. Let's see what you do against Inter Milan at San Siro. Let's see what you do against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. Because last year, we barely got a draw at the Bridge. And Chelsea at the moment are looking much better than they did last year. We pammed them 5-0 at home. Who cares? Means nothing. On physicality, favoring Newcastle. It's easier to say that than to get it done. Actually, we expect... I knew that. I knew that they will gotta get very physical with us. I knew, because that is one of the easiest ways to get rid of Arsenal, to ruin our game plan. Because that was also under Arsene Wenger, and that has been also under Mikel Arteta. As soon as teams get physical with us, very physical, very high press, we basically crumble instantly. For Liverpool, remember against Everton when they still had Onana, Liverpool Onana? Or Lavia? Who did Lavia? And Liverpool, I don't want to get this wrong. Everton had Onana, yeah. Onana. Remember when they had Onana? And he single-handedly, home and away, bullied our midfield. By himself. It just proved how we don't like when they get physical with us. Same thing Luton Town did against us when we played away. We barely got the win 4-3 with a one lucky goal in the end to win it 4-3. As soon as teams get very physical and very, very close and tight with us, we crumble like piece of paper. We fall under the pressure instantly. And that is one of the easiest blueprints how to shut us down. On Partey's performance, I need to make the assessment once I have more clarity. Blah, 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 blah. He was at right back. On Isak's impact, they are all big and very physical. Oh wow! Our whole back line is like basically a basketball team. And you couldn't deal with one chance Isak got. And that's what clinical striker in front of goal gets you. One chance, bang, goal. Interestingly, how teams that have proper strikers up front, actually, can score goals on consistent basis. They don't have this issue with creativity. Chris Wood has 9 goals this season in Premier League, by the way. Chris goddamn Wood. At the moment, he would be better at Arsenal at striker as well. On not taking chances created, we had 2 chances. Obviously, when you create 3 big chances in the game, well, 2 technically, game, you're hoping to score a goal because that's the fine margins we're always discussing, but I think the team should have generated more. Yeah, team should have generated more. That's also your and team's responsibility. 100%, but 3 big chances. Okay, Rice's header, I think it was Merino's header, and Merino had a shot in front of goal in the first half, which was legitimately for 5 yards out, and he hit the defender, which basically he wouldn't have done anything about it. So basically he says that. Like, what the hell is this? Go back to Isak paragraph, last sentence. I especially directly on his side. I love my players and I wouldn't change them for anyone. No, he really didn't say that. There's no chance he actually said that, man. He did. He actually did. He actually said that. Oh my god. We are washed. He needs to go. I'm sorry, man. Saying stuff like that. I love my players and I wouldn't change them for anyone else. So you wouldn't change Jesus for Gyökeres. You wouldn't change Zinchenko for, I don't know, Alphonso Davies. You wouldn't change Merino, for example, for Nicolas Barella from Inter Milan. You wouldn't change Martinelli for, God, for better option, for example, I don't know, give me a random left winger. Okay, for all I care, Nico Williams. You wouldn't do that. You wouldn't change Havertz for Isak. You wouldn't do that. That's what you're basically saying. No wonder our team is shit at the moment. Our bench is looking like championship bench. Because if this is the attitude, you look at your players, nothing's ever gonna change, let's be real. Because there is a point in business, because let's be real, to a certain level, Arsenal also are a business, not just a football team. The emotional attachment and the emotional element needs to get binned off and cut out of this equation. If you're not good enough, get out of the club and sign a player who is good enough, who is better. Because at the moment, the way we are signing players, we are signing a shit player to replace a shit player. We got rid of Rob Holding, we signed Jakub Kiwior, basically. That's how we are rolling. We got rid of Reece Nelson, we signed Raheem Sterling. At this space should have kept Reece Nelson, because at the moment, he is much better than Raheem Sterling and Gabriel Jesus. We are basically... Emil Smith-Rowe as well. Fabio Vieira, get rid of him. Like, seriously, we are selling shit players and we are signing players who are the same level, if not worse. And we should now look at this transfer window. It's all good. It's all fine. It's a fixed bench. Basically, what you are playing is on Arsenal's fans' emotions because it's a new toy. It's a new player. He has to be good. Like Calafiori, for example. Who the fuck watched Calafiori at Bologna every single game to actually suggest him to Mikel Arteta? Any of Arsenal fans, besides or maybe some of who watch Serie A, who know Bologna, nobody has watched him besides Euros, let's be real, or some international games. Merino, I watch La Liga. I didn't want Merino. I had to make amends with that. I kind of had to force myself to say, okay, cool, Mikel Merino maybe could work if he does this and that. I basically had to shoehorn myself into this equation to accept the fact that we signed Mikel Merino, which at the moment I regret doing, I'm not gonna lie. Because I much rather have Fabian Ruiz from PSG. 100 times much rather. Much better player in my opinion. If you sign a 6, go sign Zubimendi then. We signed arguably the third, if not the fourth best midfielder in the Real Sociedad's team. Zubimendi is there, Brais Mendes is there. They are much better than him. One plays 10, one plays 6. Merino is basically the third, fourth choice midfielder, in my opinion. Oh, but hey ho, it's a new toy. His name is Mikel Arteta. His name is Mikel Merino. We have 2 Mikels, the Spider-Man meme. Haha, and all that stuff. Give over. Pathetic. Genuinely pathetic, to say the least. Dude, I'm not reading that, but yeah. Last sentence. Glazers out. Yep, I get that, but at least you have Amorim now. I think Amorim actually will do good at United, by the way. Off topic a bit, but I think Amorim will do good there. Definitely. I think if he actually gets the green light to bin off the players like Harry Maguire, Luke Shaw, that are Argentinian playboy Garnacho and all them players, and actually gets to sign proper players, I think genuinely he will be good for United. I'm not gonna lie. Genuinely, I think he will be good. And on top of that, I have already read today that Amorim wants take Diomande, the center back from Ivory Coast, with him to United to replace Harry Maguire, to play together instead of play together with Lisandro Martinez. He actually would be good. Diomande actually would do good in my opinion. Trossard should have been hooked. Trossard should have been hooked in the first 10 minutes. It was pathetic. Genuinely. I get why we didn't sell him to Saudi when they offered 30 million in September. I get it. But now in hindsight, should have done it. Not gonna lie, should have done it. Play, I don't care who. Play Sagoy Jr. on the wing or whoever. Or whatever. Maybe then Ethan Mangieri would have gotten some starts in number 10 consistently with Odegaard's injury. Maybe then. But oh my goodness gracious. He plays like he's drunk consistently. I wouldn't even sub him off the bench for the next 3-4 games for the things he has done this game. That's how pissed off I am. We had to sack Erik ten Hag because he didn't learn. Exactly, I want Erik ten Hag to learn from his mistakes. Big better players do it. Yeah, exactly. That's what I want. That's what I want with Mikel Arteta as well. Different formation, different tactics, plan B, plan C, and all that stuff. Have the flexibility, try new things, but he won't do it. At least when we sign Inzaghi, we might play 3 at the back. With our defensive setup, we would have a world out there. We would have so much fun out there on the pitch. 3 center backs, for example, you play even, let's just say, Gabriel Saliba, Ben White. Timber as a right wing back. Tierney as a left wing back. Tierney would cook in that formation as a left wing back. 100%. That would be phenomenal in my opinion. Oh, but nobody's good as Super Duper Mick. He's the best Spaniard we know. These Arteta-sexuals, man, really get on my nerves. Exactly. He did the same thing with Kai Havertz last year. He forced him in the number 8 role until New Year's when he had that Dubai break, and all of a sudden he plays attacker. All of a sudden he plays number 9. He did that with Havertz, and he's now doing that arguably with Mikel Merino. Maybe with Odegaard comes back, it will be a different story, but at the moment he's doing the same thing. And again, and this is another instance where my point stands. He doesn't learn from his goddamn mistakes. Playing 3 6s/8s that provide almost legit to zero creativity from the midfield will never work, especially when you play mid-low blocks. Will never ever work. Never ever ever work, and you won't convince me otherwise. I think Arsenal might have we must. The thing is though, how long was it? A month and a half ago, we put him on a new contract. 15 fucking million a year. 15 million a year. which makes him about third or fourth best paid manager in world football. Although if Mancini gets sacked, then he's the second most paid football manager in the world. 15 million. And we have to watch this garbage at the moment. 15 million a year. And if we sack him, since he has about 2 years left of his contract till 2026, if I'm not mistaken, they will have to pay it out. So extra 30 million. And Kroenkes are stingy in that regard. They won't pull the trigger. So there's a big possibility, unless Arteta resigns himself, which pretty much is unlikely, let's be real, we are stuck with him for the next 2 years. Think about that. Anyways, on some news, Arsenal have failed to keep a clean sheet in each of their last 6 Premier League matches. Newcastle, Liverpool, Bournemouth, Southampton, Leicester City and Manchester City. How wild is that? That is actually kinda insane, let's be real. Martinelli right wing back. To be honest, in a 5-5-3-2 or 5-2-3 formation. 5-2-3. 2 midfielders, for example, Rice and Odegaard, for example. Martinelli, Saka, and for example, Gyökeres up top. And then you have wing backs of Timber that overlap Saka and Tierney that overlaps Martinelli, with the back line of Gabriel, Saliba and Ben White, for example, with Raya in goal. For me, looks very exciting. Very exciting and very interesting how that would work. Because we won the FA Cup in the first season when Mikel Arteta just took over with playing 3/5 at the back. We won that cup, never ever have seen it again. Instantly, 4-2-3-1 or 4-3-3. Nothing else. No imagination. Same ways, same tactics, same style, since then almost every single game. That's it. And no experiments as well, tests during preseason. In preseason we play like we have played, and then all of a sudden, in the first few games of the season, like last year, all of a sudden, Gabriel holds the bench. Partey plays right back, and all this stuff starts to happen. As a result, we draw to 10-man Fulham, we have shocking performances, and that was where already we pretty much lost the league. Because that one draw, if we win that game, because 100% we win that game if Gabriel plays center back, and Partey doesn't play right back, we have won the league. You will have to spend a striker and get new midfield. Yeah, Partey's contract runs out at the end of the season. There are some rumors that Arsenal might extend the contract. We'll see, we can talk about it. Jorginho's contract runs out, which means if they both leave at the end of the season, we are left with 2 midfielders. Merino, Rice, well, Odegaard technically, but you get the point. Odegaard, Rice, Merino. We might need to sign 2 midfielders again. Potentially, obviously. Potentially. We need a striker. We've been banging on for a striker since Aubameyang left. We haven't signed a striker for 4 years. For 4 freaking years. That was also very annoying. We used to be well known for very good strikers, to be honest. Ian Wright, Thierry Henry, of course Anelka, Van Persie, Aubameyang, and all those. Now we have nothing of that. Nothing whatsoever. We had a good we had good chances from set pieces. A proper coach tells Rice to stop taking after the second or third crap one instead of not. Exactly. Bukayo Saka does also. He had one of those games where he just tried to cross and hit the first man from corners as well. He was also a few games ago. He had also that instance. I don't think it's also a player issue. It's also the coach's issue. Because we never have certain players on corners. We have the same people, which I get it, we should have. At the same time, when it's not working, change it up. Try something different. Maybe from a left-sided corner, try an out-swinging corner, not in-swinging. For a change. Maybe something happens. Who knows? Terrible tactics, can't blame the player. Yeah. Tactics were awful, to be honest. Players also didn't perform. It's a fault on Arteta, fault on players, fault on everyone. That big concern for all the big... True. Eddie Howe stopped Raya's distribution. Mikel got... Pretty much is the second year in a row. Eddie Howe schooled Mikel Arteta. Full on. No excuses. And that just shows that he doesn't learn. Because it was pretty much very similar like he did last time, and there was no changes in the system. Same thing, same tactics, everything. It was the same outcome. It's basically the definition of insanity. Doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting different results. Same thing. Nothing has changed. Yeah, that is actually insane. And to be honest, Arsenal at this stage are in a place, after these 2 years of challenging and all that stuff, if we don't win it, we are done and dusted. And based on how we have started the season, we are done and dusted. Because Chelsea are catching us up. Liverpool has overtaken us, and it's only their first season. Yes, they might fall off, but they have shown that they have overtaken us instantly. We are 7 points behind them at the moment. And also, if United get it together with Amorim, by the way, it won't be too long until they are right up there with us. At the moment, after this window and everything in summer, we haven't closed the gap one single goddamn bit with City. The other teams have closed the gap with us. And we are in a position where pretty much, doesn't matter what way you look at it, we are screwed. Let's be real. I think it's stale, we need... Exactly! And that's not just this performance. Not just game against Newcastle. It was the same against Bournemouth. It has been weaving more or less throughout the whole season. It's just the fact that results have papered over the cracks. And sooner or later the penny had to drop. And the results should have caught up to the performances. And in the last few games, it has happened. Because before this, Newcastle hadn't won 5 games in a row in Premier League. And then Santa Claus FC Arsenal comes. Here you go, 3 points. Have a nice one. Enjoy your stay. Happy days, football friends. Wins. Do you have players back from injuries that might got your... Only player that is injured that we allegedly everyone's waiting to come back is Martin Odegaard. Rest of them are back. Timber is back. Saka is back. Everyone's back. Only player from the main guys that are missing is Martin Odegaard. Yes, the Tomiyasu is injured, Tierney is injured, but those are not the main guys who start consistently. Only one, the big one missing is Martin Odegaard. So there are no excuses. Genuinely no excuses. I think the best thing for you at the moment is the fact that Ruben Amorim is coming in, and this, until the end of the season, he can get time to realize and find out what you need to change, who needs to get sold, and what you need to get rid of, and where there needs to be changes. This basically 3/4 of a season pretty much is like a free hit for him, because he's not getting a summer window and no nothing. So basically at the end of the day, he can figure things out. Next summer, he can get his signings, start everything how he wants, and then you will see the main results. This is arguably the best thing that could have happened to United at the moment. They are finally doing something properly, and based on how Sporting are playing, how are doing them in European stage and everything, I don't think if he gets the money, it won't take too long for you lot to be back up there. Especially since Amorim intends to play with 3 at the back. And if he gets the deal Monday, as the reports are saying, you could have very proper attack. Because he has gotten, especially Gyökeres, firing on all cylinders. Don't forget to look at player stats. Can't let people blame it all on ARTETA. Yeah. I know I'm gonna be live for about 10-15 minutes. I'm gonna. From the best defense last season to shocking season, hard to explain such a drop-off besides lack of... Exactly. That's the thing. We are doing the same thing over and over and over again. And Arteta is expecting not to get figured out. Nobody is gonna do anything. Everything will be the same. Like, it cannot fly. We still have sell Lindelof, Anthony, Santa. You will sell. Trust me, you still need to sell also, what's its face? Oh, fucking hell. Maguire, Luke Shaw. As I said also that Argentinian wannabe model in Garnacho. As soon as they go and he gets proper signings in certain positions, and you will be good. You definitely will be good, in my opinion. Under Amorim, you actually could get the job done. Tells Havertz to drop deep and Saka to play like a football. Yeah, exactly. At least that's how I see United at the moment. In a way, it's a free hit this season haul for Emery, as long as he basically, even if as long as you finish somewhere in top 10, all will be fine, especially then he will figure things out. And if somewhere he manages to get rid of players and get the right ones in, it could be very good for us. Semenyo better than Martinelli. Yep, definitely, 100%. It's hard not to be better than Martinelli. At this point, Reece Nelson is better than Jesus and Martinelli combined. And you can include Trossard into that equation. Fake Brazilian, yeah. He is generally playing like he's from, I don't know, Honduras or something. Honduras Martinelli. This one. Leandro Trossard lost possession 7 times in the first 36 minutes. It was topped with this. Leandro Trossard lost possession 12 times in 55 minutes against Newcastle. 12 times in 55 minutes. So basically, every 4.5 minutes he loses possession when he gets the ball. Like, how can this be a thing? How can this be a thing? If Nottingham Forest beats West Ham, they could climb over. Yeah, they have already done that. Let's be real. They have already done that. And of course, this is the biggest insult to the injury. Mikel Arteta, I love my players and I wouldn't change them for anybody else. How ignorant, stubborn, and narcissistic can you be to say things like that? Seriously. I tell what my friend Newcastle. Eddie Howe did perfect. He schooled everyone there. Jesus lost 9 times and then exactly. Yeah, they are. At St. James Park, definitely. I hate when Arteta then changed Party from right back to CM. Why is he even playing him at right back? Like, that is also a big issue. Did you see this image? By the way, coach. This is how Arsenal played. This is how we played. Have you noticed something? We don't have a striker near opponent's box whatsoever, like a top man. Because as soon as Martinelli or Saka get the ball and they get to cross the ball, by the time the ball is in the 6-yard box or even on the penalty spot, our striker, so-called Havertz, is still somewhere on the edge of the box or still somewhere just running towards it. And that was also the issue with Lacazette. Even when Lacazette we still had and we were doing this thing, many times when the cross came in, Lacazette was still on the edge of the penalty box. That is a reoccurring theme since the time we still had them. It hasn't changed, by the way. It hasn't freaking changed still. That's how bad it is. That's how bad it goddamn is. By the way, I need to change this. Some things never change. Zinchenko, yeah. His tactics have been... It's not just too complicated. It's the same and predictable. It might be the easiest. 7 times. Our versatile players are actually a curse. Exactly. For me, we should have specialists in certain positions. Striker, number 10, number 6, center backs, preferably wing backs as well, but that's a bit different. We have almost no specialists in our team in general. Yeah, Isak scored a very good header, yeah. Gabriel lost his head and lost the marker there. But yeah, that is the thing. Defensively as well, the versatility is decent, but we have spent 160 million or something like that to sign center backs that can play as left backs to basically end up with not playing Tierney, who's the best left back in the team, full on, quote out and out left back, to play a right back in Timber at left back and to play a number 6 as a right back. That's how Arsenal are doing things. 160 million to do that. To play right back at left back and a CDM as a right back. That's how Arsenal are doing business, by the way. Trying to change formations 3 times to match ruins the rhythm. Exactly. They try to change genuinely. We go from 4-3-3 to 2-5-3 and then to 2-5-1-1 and something like that, and basically it's confusing everyone. You have defenders back, don't you? We have all the defenders back besides Tomiyasu. We had arguably the... Well, besides Ben White. Ben White was on the bench because of a knock, but overall he was there. But yeah, that goal we conceded, 95% is on Gabriel. Totally lost the marker. Isak faked the run, he followed him, and then Isak took 3 steps back, and perfect cross and bullet header, and it's 1-0, and it's done and dusted. Anyways, we wanted to look at some stats. Team stats, where are they? Here we go. Can you see this properly? Yes, you can. Oh, you can't. Sorry. Links. Let's make them a bit smaller and do it like this, and then do it like that. Here we go. Here we go. Some stats. Possession, Arsenal, 64%. That went well. Possession lost in defensive half. 26 for Arsenal, 52 for Newcastle. Possession lost in the final third, pretty equal. That just shows what the battle was there. Duels, 109 versus 113. Duels success rate, 58% against 41%. Shows everything, doesn't it? Aerial duels, tight, quite even. Successful dribbles, 6 against 3. Fouls, 1, 18-16. Offsides, no. Corners, 6 against 4. Ball distribution. Oh, this will be fun. Ball distribution for the team. This will be hella fun. Now, by the way, you cannot see the full picture, by the way. Like this. Shh. Looks a bit better now. I hope, at least. Passes. Nearly 500 passes for Arsenal, by the way. Long passes, 38. Long passes, proportions. Passing accuracy, 86 against 69. Passes in opponent's half, 312 against 159. Passing accuracy in opponent's half, 83% for Arsenal. But that's mostly because we camp on the edge of the box and pass the ball between midfielders and defenders 95% of the time. No urgency, no directness, no willingness to go into attack and to try be more direct, to thread the needle, to be very energetic, basically something like that. That is also the big thing. Stats look close, but was not close. Newcastle, exactly. We looked knackered, team is drained. Also, because we play the same 11 every single game. That was the reason last year, again, we lost it. And the year before that, and year before that, and everything. Stats technically look close, but mostly because Arsenal were holding possession in near opponent's final third and just passing it around there between defenders and between defenders. Just look at this picture, see? The thicker lines are the passes that were given out the most. The thinner lines are the ones that were more rarely, basically. So the thicker lines, Saliba to Gabriel, to Declan Rice, Martinelli to Timber, Saka to Partey to Saliba, Rice to Gabriel, Rice to Partey, and stuff like that. Rest of the basically we pass just through the middle, just the 5 players in the middle, and that basically is in the opponent's side of the pitch. That's why the stats seem so close. But at the end of the day, we don't do nothing of that. We didn't create anything. We did nothing to that, and it was actually insane. I tell what we also give Newcastle credit, they mix up against Chelsea. Exactly. Newcastle mix it up. They have the ability. They have different types of players, especially also Isak. He can play from wide and he can play down the middle. So they can maybe try and maybe shift it around a bit in a way that it kind of throws the opponent off balance. We need new owners since 2012, pretty much. Yeah, he has. Arteta has messed it up big time, 100%. You do need new owner. Exactly. Yeah, the American owners arguably ruin football. And that you can see that on quite consistent basis, by the way. What else is there? Wait, let me remove the image. Passing accuracy in final third, 81% for Arsenal. Well, when you pass it to defenders and center mids, it makes sense. Oh, here we go. Forward passes that goes forward. Arsenal completed 59% of the 294 passes. So around 150 passes of what they did, they basically went forward. That's it. Half of the passes, a bit more. Through balls. 1 through ball. Holy crap. Final third, 58 times. Penalty area entries, 41 times. And what we did with that? Nada. No shots, no dangerousness. Crosses, 27 crosses. Crossing accuracy, 25%. Look, Newcastle, 13 crosses. Crossing accuracy, 7.7%. So basically that means that only one cross, what they did, hit the target. Ironically enough, that is the cross that resulted in a goal that they scored, and we lost 1-0. How that is actually insane if you think about it. 13 crosses, crossing accuracy 7.7%, which results in one successful cross, which at the end of the day means the one cross that Gordon put in for Isak that resulted in a goal was the only chance they properly had, and they took it because they have a proper bagsman up top, which are 10 things Arsenal don't fucking need. Sack this manager right now. Arsenal had 10 shots, 1 on target. 1 shot on target over 2 years. 3 shots outside the box, 7 shots inside the box. Shots accuracy excluding block shots, 14% shooting accuracy. Key passes 9. Okay. Defense. 13 tackles, less than 50% success rate. That is working well. 6 interceptions, 50 recoveries, attacking third recoveries, 6 midfield recoveries in the attacking half, 12%. Less than I would expect from Arsenal, I'm not gonna lie. This is the XG map, if you can see it in full blast. XG map, this is called. Not looking good, is it? Pass map. Yeah, this is how Newcastle played, basically. This is how Newcastle played. Notice how they don't have one style of play, by the way. They shift the ball around all over the pitch, basically. They don't have designated passes they make all the time. Yes, there are thicker lines between wings, maybe from center back to the Bruno Guimaraes, who kinda is the distributor. But mostly they play and they are pretty much very balanced out. See, the same thickness of the lines means the similar amount of assists they make. Now look at Arsenal. You can see mostly passes between center backs, center back to midfield, midfield, center back to midfield, center back to midfield, midfield to Saka, and that's it. Or Timber to Martinelli. Most of the passes are generated just in the midfield. Very rarely, for example, we pass into Kai Havertz to Saka, Kai Havertz never passed to Trossard in the game, by the way. No link here. So Kai Havertz never passed to Trossard according to this. Trossard passed 1 or 2 times to Merino. 2 times forward, 2 times backwards. Merino passed 4 times to Martinelli, 2 times back. And look, 8 times Gabriel passed to Saliba, and 17 times Saliba passed to Gabriel. And this is basically where all the passing stats for Arsenal with their 500 nearly passes come from, basically. Mostly defenders pass between themselves or midfielders pass between themselves. No, and our designated number 9 is also in the midfield, because Kai Havertz should be near the opponent's box so we have a proper passing. As you can see here, number 14, Isak, he's kind of the peak of the passing in this passing of this, whatever this is called, pentagon, for example, right? He's on the peak so he can receive the ball and just go. Meanwhile, Havertz is playing deep and we have no peak where to pass the ball to, basically, at the end of the day. And that's what is hella annoying and very pissing everyone off in a way, I would say, at least. But yeah, I guess it is what it is. But Bowley moving to the model, they have 2 strong teams makes... Yeah, but that's the thing. Bowley basically used a loophole in the system, which allowed him to do that. Plus, he managed to basically make some money back in that regard, because Chelsea always sell well. So he used that while he has a chance. Obviously, there is also some investigations going on, so he might get a transfer ban for a few seasons. FA will kind of maybe tighten down on certain rules, but he did his thing. He did his damage. Similar like City, they did his damage. the league and everyone noticed too late, and it's now done and dusted. Why can't Kroenkes do the same? Because they don't want to. They don't spend the money. When we have gone into transfer window, bang, 200 million light work. Out of nowhere, 300 million out of nowhere. How often do we do that? Because City, when they were building the team, did that for a few seasons. Bowley has done that in 3-4 transfer windows, not just seasons. Arsenal never do that. Arsenal have done it once. I count it once because I cannot if you exclude Rice's season, we have done it once. We don't do that much. I think you need someone like Graham Potter, Thomas Frank. Oh, I don't want any of. I'm not gonna lie, I don't want any of those. It sounds mad. I much rather have Inzaghi. Inzaghi from Inter, obviously Ancelotti, Real Madrid, managers like that. Proven winners who have won it, who have done it all, and who need just a new challenge maybe. We need a striker, it's simple, another midfielder out of position. Exactly, we need a striker. We were screaming for striker since Aubameyang has left. Have we signed a striker since Aubameyang has left? No! We haven't. And the issue is, again, I will say this again, I have no trust in Mikel Arteta to coach the striker. Because when we had the strikers, Aubameyang, Lacazette, half the time they were playing left wing back or number 6 when defending, and Arteta has never coached a proper striker. Because when he was at City, City didn't have a striker. Only when Arteta left they signed Haaland. So I'm not sure he can actually manage a striker. Plus, on all top of that, Arsenal need more stars in the team. More players with big names, established, also experienced winners. Because at the moment, we are too soft. We don't have winners. But Arsenal won't sign them. Because Arteta cannot manage big egos and big stars. Because he wants the yes men in the team who say, yes sir, I will do that sir, come on sir. He wants those in the team. He doesn't want a player who is selfish. Who wants to work also on his stats. Because if we sign a player like Tony in the box, I would say 9 out of 10 times, Jesus passes the ball off where he has a chance to shoot. Tony doesn't care. He drops a shoulder, bang, bangs it towards the goal. That's what he does because he's a striker. He wants to score goals. That's where he is selfish. We don't have that in the team. We are too nice. In a level also sometimes to each other. We don't stat pad in a way. We don't maybe take the ball and say, well, I'm going to take the ball, I'm going to do 3-4 dribbles, I'm going to score the goal myself. Screw you all. That's why I think we need someone like Alexis Sanchez. Alexis Sanchez in this team would cook like no tomorrow. He single-handedly would have turned this 1-0 loss into 2-1 win because he has the quality, ability, the selfishness and arrogance to do so. But Mikel Arteta doesn't want players like that because those are hard to manage in a way if you cannot keep them calm. Wenger gave Alexis freedom, let him free roam, and when he gets the ball, do what he wants and as he pleases because he knew he will get the job done. Arteta is such a big control freak, he will never give any player such freedom to play outside his system and tactics where he has boxed every single player in. He will never do that. That's a big issue for me as well. That's what's also is slowing us down as a team in growth. Because we play systematic football where big amount of our players are not allowed to express themselves. They are boxed in certain role, in certain type of way to play, and that's it. They're not allowed to do certain things on the pitch, which they were doing before or they would be doing if they weren't so restricted, basically. Exactly, 1 trophy in 5 years. We are legitimately month and 17 days away from 5 years from Mikel Arteta being here. 100% can guarantee you there'll be PR, celebrations, fireworks, maybe we'll get a new dog to celebrate the fact and everything. 100%. But I want him gone. Get him out, I've had enough. I really do so. Yeah, if Ancelotti leaves Real, I would love him to have at Arsenal. At the time, we had a chance to get Ancelotti twice. When we sacked Wenger, when we sacked Emery. Well, Wenger left, but we all know what that means. When they both left. I wanted Hansi Flick. Oh, but he's washed. Look what he's doing with Barcelona at the moment. I also want Inzaghi. I wanted Conte as well at some point. Oh, but what he did at Spurs. It's Spurs. Who cares? Look what he's doing at Napoli right now. Like, people are so uptight that there is no one better than Mikel Arteta. He's the best of the best in the world. Wake up! Remember Kevin Prince Boateng, we need some... Exactly, we need dogs in the team. And at the moment, we have only puppies in the team, basically. That's the thing. In January, get yourself a striker. Do I have trust that Arsenal will sign a striker? Nope. In January, we don't do these things, so... Yikes. Mikel is a very good... Yeah, go coach under 23s or whoever. Wilshere left, go coach them. Who cares? Although I think the next coach that will replace Wilshere will be Jorginho, because he's doing his coaching badges as he plays for Arsenal at the moment. That he most likely won't re-sign a new contract and he will go into coaching. So he potentially might be Arsenal's under something coach. Do you have youth players working towards first team? Well, we have this movie, Heyland, so-called, and this is working very well since in June 31st, before July 1st, we basically let go 21 youth player from Arsenal's team. 21, from which arguably we could have gotten about 50 to 70 million combined, first of all. Second of all, Chidobe Martin, right, went to you lot. Went to United because he didn't see future from him at Arsenal, given how Arteta is treating strikers and young players. When Yeri is holding the bench quite a bit, we have some young prospects who could be playing in the first team. The thing is, though, Mikel Arteta hasn't given a single young player proper chance. Because when he came into Arsenal, ESR and Saka were already there because of Unai Emery. He promoted them, he gave them a chance, and that's why they are where they are at the moment. Only player that has come up and at the moment is getting somewhat of a chance is Ethan Nwaneri, like a long-term chance, who gets to play more than one game a season like Walters did, like some other, Sagoy Jr. did, and players like that. He's the only one. And to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if Nwaneri gets pissed off at some point that he actually goes and leaves. I wouldn't be surprised, let's be real. And I wouldn't be surprised that also at some point, if this keeps going down this route, the way we are playing and players are getting annoyed, they might turn on Mikel Arteta. There could be a point to that. It will be either or. City lost too. Who gives a fuck? It's City. They will come back. For Arsenal, I have no trust they will come back. I'm sorry to being so rude. I'm very, very sorry. But I don't care about City. For Arsenal, this was the perfect opportunity to close the gap and get the job done early to put extra pressure on other teams. What we did, we basically turned over like a dog and let Newcastle scratch our belly, basically. City lost. Okay, cool. They're still in front of us. Liverpool extended the gap. Means nothing. Because City, at the end of the day, we all know that they're gonna pick themselves up. They have the quality and the depth in the team to push onwards for the title again. Arsenal don't have the depth, don't have the quality on the bench. I have no trust at the moment. No belief in that. For me, Kroenke already should be interviewing someone else to replace him as the manager. And I don't want any friendship deals like Mertesacker or crap like that. Go to a big team with a proven winner manager and get me that manager. Enough is enough. Enough with this friendly business. Do the things the proper way. Whew. Anyways, I think on that note, I'm gonna end it here. Been ranting for quite some time. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're new around here, don't forget to subscribe, smash that thumbs up. Big up Lucky Singh in the chat, big up Nathan, Coach, everyone who dropped by, who commented and everything. You have been freaking fantastic. If you're watching this as a playback, leave down in comments below what you think about Arteta, should he be sacked and what's going on, how you feel. Take care, stay safe, see you all tomorrow. Let's see what tomorrow brings, but for today, I am out. Enjoy football. Try to forget about Arsenal for at least a second, because Arsenal have already ruined my weekend. So take care, stay safe, and have a great weekend. Arteta out.